James, you've been talking with some Republican professionals who have stopped licking their wounds and actually tried to think a little bit about what hit them in the last election. Yeah. What have these guys been saying?
Well, there's some. I mean, it's hugely important for Republicans, as much as they really don't want to talk about it in some ways because the wounds are still a little tender. Right. But if they want to compete in congressional elections 2014 and 2016 presidential, they've really got to think about what went wrong. Now, for some, there is the posture that Romney was a bad candidate. He never responded to the attacks on his business career at Bain Capital, and we just needed to raise more money. So, yeah. That's one camp, which is that, there's nothing sort of fundamentally wrong with the machinery. It's just we need a better candidate and more money. And some will say, wish we had spent more attacking Obama in the spring during the Republican primaries.
Yeah. What have they been saying about, to me, James, is the most interesting issue at the center of this, the role of social media.
Yes.
And the extraordinary sophistication of the Obama operation, which seems to have taken the Republicans off guard.
Well, this I think, is the key issue, too. And I think Republicans may have a problem if they fall back on the explanations we just discussed. I do think Romney was a weak candidate in a lot of ways, and he never answered the Bain attacks. But clearly, President Obama had an enormous advantage using social media, using technology, and really doing one-to-one or campaign to single voter communications tailored. And the great thing about social media, if you can do it properly, is you can send a message to a coal miner, for example, that is not seen by environmentalists. Whereas if you put a TV ad up, I think they would still say that's where you get the most bang for the buck. But you're exposing that message to people who may like it and may be alienated by it. So basically what the Obama campaign did was they recruited in Silicon Valley, and they persuaded very talented, skilled managers from the name brand companies in social media to come work for the campaign. Republicans in the main basically went to their normal campaign operatives and said, hey, we need to use this technology, go learn about it. So I think if they're smart, one takeaway, and I think you're starting to see this happening, is that Republican campaigns, the outside independent groups as well that are on the right, are looking at recruiting people who really understand technology, as opposed to seeing this as kind of an add-on to their traditional big media buy TV
Well,
plan.
20/20 hindsight is, of course, always worth what you pay for it. But to me, it's simply astonishing that in the world of social media, all of us are sort of engulfed in this, reading about it all the time. The Republicans didn't see this coming and didn't realize you had to somehow acquire the most sophisticated techniques out there.
It's the irony that Romney, the management consultant who used to tell us how he loved to wallow in data, didn't get the information technology piece right in this campaign. I think people are going to be scratching their heads over that for years, but I'm not sure at this point Republicans still appreciate the need, because I think the consensus is that the next cycle, the next presidential election, it's still going to be mainly buying TV ads.
I was just going to ask you
because
that. Are they going to do television?
There's a sense that that's still, at the end of the day, how you really move the needle. If you want to change opinion over a few days and hit a big swath of the electorate, that's how you do it. And I wonder if maybe they need to think a lot more about what happened with the Obama campaign, really a long-term social media effort, and how they could duplicate it or surpass it.
Yeah, all right, James. I would never minimize the power of television. It is potent, but nonetheless, it looks like they got to get this other piece involved somehow.
Yes, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks.